All right, there's no good way to come out with this, so I'm just gonna say it. Summer's conglomerate is going down.
This is definitely not what I expected. This looks like it's been abandoned for years.
What do you think? Should we go in or no?
Welcome my dear listeners, stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless. Nick's scary warning, Matt's secret ally, and the date that might not be real on The Young and the Restless. The headline going around is the kind of soap opera tease that almost dares fans not to click. Nick tells Matt's ally a scary secret before he dies. It's a little more complicated than that for the verified spoiler trail. What the current recaps do confirm is that Matt told Adam Nick was dead, that he said Nick died on an overdose, and that the audience should not believe him. In other words, the death is probably just another way for Matt to control things, not the end of the story. That matters because it turns the story from a simple, arbitrary style spoiler into a much more dangerous game. A fake death, a hidden ally, and one last warning from a man who may still be fighting for his life. The current Young and the Restless story works so well because Matt Clark isn't being written as a villain who only appears in one scene. He is being made into a long-term threat. Soap spoilers and recaps show him controlling people, moving things around, and making everyone around him question what is real. One recent recap said that the man Sharon thinks is Matt is someone who goes by the name Mitch Buckle. This shows that the show is still using fake names and secret histories. That kind of setup is what makes a last-minute secret so dangerous. If Nick finds out the truth about Matt, he is not just telling a lie, he is showing everyone how it works. Nick's part in all of this is especially tense because he isn't just watching, he is actively looking for the truth, and the news reports keep bringing him closer to the heart to the Matt Clark mystery. The IMDb-linked recap says that Nick has been looking into the man Sharon says is the long-dead Matt Clark. This means that Nick is already on a collision course with whatever Matt has buried. If Nick finds out something scary about Matt's ally, it would make perfect sense for the story. He has already gotten close enough to see the lie, so the next step is to find out who is helping Matt keep that lie alive. The best part is that the reliable spoiler coverage still doesn't make it clear who the ally in the headline is. The stronger reports don't name a confirmed accomplice. They show Matt pushing Nick on the edge while Adam tries to save him. One current feature says that Matt is trying to get Nick into a deep addiction, while another says that Matt plans to kill Nick now that Nick is weak. That kind of setup makes it seem like there is help, coordination, and backup somewhere in the shadows, even if the trusted recaps don't say who that helper is. In soap operas, that mystery is often more dangerous than the reveal itself because it makes every scene feel like the wrong person is listening. That's also why Matt's claim that Nick is dead hit so hard. The April 15 recap of Soap Scene says that Matt told Adam and Chelsea that Nick had died from an overdose. However, the same events version from Soap Spoiler says that Matt told Adam that Nick was dead, but also says that Matt cannot be trusted and that Nick is probably still alive. That break is just so full. It makes the audience feel both sad and suspicious at the same time. It also means that any secret Nick tells before the crisis reaches its peak will have even more emotional weight. This is because the show clearly wants viewers to wonder if he will get one last chance to tell the truth before Matt rewrites the story again. If the rumor version of the story is true, Nick's scary secret probably has to do with whoever is helping Matt stay ahead. Not only would Matt is back be a classic YNR move, but Matt has someone on the inside would be too. The show is already in crisis mode with Nick, Adam, and Chelsea, which is why that idea works so well right now. Adam is working hard to save his brother, and the spoilers show him trying to push Matt to act as the threat grows. In that situation, Nick's last warning wouldn't be random, it would be the kind of last urgent hint a man gives when he realizes the trap is bigger than just one bad guy in front of him. The Vegas part makes everything even more risky. According to current spoilers, Matt is tricking Sharon and Noah into a trap. One recap says Sharon is on the road trying to help Nick, and another says the two are attacked in Vegas after thinking they are going there for a different reason. That means that Nick and Matt aren't the only ones in the story. It is about the whole Newman orbit being caught in a bigger trap. Nick could find out a scary secret about Matt's friend before he dies. That secret could be about the same person who is helping Matt set up Sharon and Noah. The best reveals in a soap are the ones that explain the trap while making it worse. The canvas around you only makes things worse. April spoilers show Jack leaning on Nikki as his marriage falls apart, Victor helping Diane give Jack a test of his own medicine, and the show constantly switching between family drama and survival drama. The Young and the Restless loves to pile on crisis on top of another until one can handle the next one. That's why this is important. The rest of Genoa City is already feeling the effects of the Matt Nick story, even though it's at its darkest point. That means that any secret Nick finds out about Matt's friend won't just be dropped in a hover, it will be dropped in a city where people are already on edge. That's why the rumor has spread so quickly. The show has already set the right mood for it, so it sounds real. Matt is playing games with fake identities. Nick is looking into the man who Sharon says is Matt. Adam wants to help his brother. Sharon and Noah are being led into a trap. Matt is also telling people that Nick is dead. When you put all of that together, the idea that Nick might have one last terrifying revelation about Matt's ally seems less like a random guess and more like the next logical step in a very dark story. The reliable spoilers I found don't say for sure what scene it is, but the groundwork is definitely there. If Nick does get that last warning out, it will probably be terrible, not because it's loud, but because it's too late. That's kind of emotional pain that soaps love the most. A character sees the truth, names the threat, and only then do the other characters realize how deep the betrayal really was. In this case, the betrayal would be twofold: Matt's lie about Nick's death and the secret ally who is helping him put the strings. That's what makes the story interesting. Nick might not be safe. Nick may already know the face of the danger. Is the headline true? Not in the exact verified way that it is being sold. I couldn't confirm a report that Nick had already told Matt's ally a scary secret before he died. What the current spoilers do show is a much more immediate and disturbing truth. Matt is telling people that Nick is dead, but Nick is still a lot of danger. Sharon and Noah are walking into a trap, and the show is making it clear that Matt's support system is vague enough that anything could happen at the last minute. That is often the moment just before the real bomb drops on the Young and the Restless. And this is where the story turns from suspense into something much darker, because now it's not about whether Nick survives, it's about who he can trust. Because a fake death only works when someone is helping sell the lie. And that's the detail that should worry everyone. Honestly, I think the ally angle is the real story here, not Nick's fate. But the idea that Matt isn't working alone anymore, and once a villain like Matt has backup, the game changes completely. It becomes less predictable, more dangerous, and a lot harder to stop. But here's the part that really sticks with me. What if Nick already figured out who the ally is and just couldn't prove it in time? And if that's true, does his last warning become the key to saving anyone else, or just another clue that gets ignored until it's too late? Because let's be real, in Genoa City, the truth doesn't save you unless someone is ready to believe it. I actually think this fake death might be a setup for something bigger, not an ending but a reset, where Nick comes back with information that flips the entire story. And if Sharon and Noah are already walking into a trap, that warning might be the only thing standing between them and disaster. So now the real question is Nick one step from being silenced or one step from exposing everything? And if Matt's ally is someone close, someone no one suspects, what happens when that mask finally comes off? Because something about this doesn't feel like a simple twist. It feels like the moment before a massive reveal, and when it hits, it could change everything all at once.